What if I told you that odds are you have directly contributed to a eugenics cult, all because you needed a little help falling asleep? Well, today we're going to be covering the Urantia book and the cult's deep, weird connection to the Celestial Seasonings Tea Company. I'm sure you've heard of Sleepytime tea. You know, it's like liquid melatonin. People drink it. It helps them go to sleep, allegedly. Some may call it night-night juice. If you're one of those adults that says eepy like a fucking idiot. I don't know why I came off so hostile so quick. But you know, it's like insomniacs like it, or something like that. It's also great if you are a eugenics-loving cosmic alien starseed, but that might be me getting a little ahead of myself here, allegedly, a little bit, maybe. It's almost unbelievable, you know, if I were to tell you that inside such a soft, unimposing, outdated box design lurks a cult. And not just any cult, but one that believes in aliens, which isn't that crazy, to be real. But eugenics and a cosmic hierarchy of humans, which is pretty fucking crazy. But we do have a good bit to cover, so without further ado, let's talk about Celestial Seasonings, its founder, Mo Siegel, and the bizarre connection to a book that makes Scientology look like nothing more than a lighthearted book club. No, not that kind of book club. That kind. So our story begins in 1969, right at the height of the hippie age, you know, flower power, all that good shit, when a guy named Mo Siegel and his friends were out roaming in the Colorado mountains, collecting herbs to make teas, which Mo had been previously looking into because he's a fucking hippie, you know? This little hobby turned into a business and boom, Celestial Seasonings is born. Fast forward, and Celestial Seasonings became the herbal tea juggernaut that we know today. You know, you've probably seen their teas in almost every grocery store that you've probably ever been to. They're typically sporting these like vague dream catcher bought from Spencer's on BOGO, like diet spiritualism sounding names like Tension Tamer or Mint Magic, Morning Thunder, a lot of stuff like that. Which, so far, this is all at least seemingly pretty harmless, you know, until you realize that Mo Siegel was a massive fan of a pretty freaky book. No, not that kind of freaky book. That kind. Okay, so this is where things take a turn from like quirky new age spiritualism, which is like my least favorite thing ever, to just flat out deranged racism and some pretty harmful beliefs. So here's your warning. Maybe the flat out deranged racism should be my least favorite thing. But if you've ever talked to one of these quirky new age spiritualists, they might be worse. They really might be worse. And they're probably racist. Like, let's be real. They probably mean that shit too. But because I'm not a coward, and if I'm going to make fun of something or debunk or argue anything, debate anything, I want to know what I can about it. I read the entirety of the Urantia book in preparation for this video. 2,000 plus pages of just weird, unbridled, like eugenics and phrenology and the racism again. Just, it's all that just indoctrination, and it's just like sandwiched between baseless, nonsensical revelations from these celestial beings. And on top of all of this, they didn't even have the balls to try to create their own belief system But instead, they just tried to kind of piggyback off of Christianity just to make it easier to indoctrinate the most people possible. And to me, that's pretty fucking gross. But not going to get too ahead. We'll take this one step at a time. The Urantia book claims to be dictated by celestial beings to a Chicago psychiatrist named Dr. William Sadler between 1924 and 1955. Now, Sadler was already known for his work in eugenics, which we're going to get into. I don't know about you, but the groundwork seems to be laid out that a person with the tools to be a master manipulator just implemented those tools and, you know, kind of just took advantage of a bunch of informed, gullible, stupid people. But I don't know. I don't have a doctorate in psychiatry. I'm just a guy. But eugenics. Okay. Just going to start off by saying it's bad, you know, just in case you're not familiar with it. Here's your warning. It's not a good thing. Don't hear what I'm about to say and be like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. It's fucking not, okay? So to you watching who are like, ooh, eugenics sounds cool. Nope, don't do that. That's a bad thing, okay? On the same page? Good. So eugenics is basically the idea that we can improve the human race by controlling breeding, which, shocker, has led to some of the worst genocides in human history. So real shitty stuff we're talking about here. And the Urantia book, it just casually promotes eugenics as a necessary step for human advancement. In fact, here's a cheeky little line from the Urantia book itself. Unfit human strains should not be perpetuated. Please do not clip that out of context. That would really suck. But also be really funny if that. Oh, cool. You know, the fucking Sleepytime T-Bear just essentially quoted Hitler, which is fucking awesome, allegedly. Not actually. That's a joke. That's irony. But there is a joke somewhere about the Sleepytime T-Bear, Hitler, and Kanye West that I think a funnier person could probably make and people would laugh about it. So someone get on that. I would love to laugh or just feel something again. But yeah, you know, the Urantia book literally suggests that some people are genetically inferior and that civilization would benefit if certain groups were phased out. By the way, this is literally the type of ideology that inspired forced sterilization programs in the early 20th century, which is also a whole can of worms that I don't know if I have the time to get into right now. But, you know, just to remind you, just gotta kind of throw this back out there, just to, you know, throw this back to you. Mo Siegel, the founder of Celestial Seasonings, agrees with this. He reads this and is like, yep, get them out of here. Eugenics, good. Diversity, again, eugenics, good. Diversity, that's what Mo Siegel says. That's not what I say. That's not what I say. I say diversity, good. Eugenics, just for the record. Or do I? I'm kidding. That's a joke. You know, but moving on. Racial tier lists. That's a really bad thing, right? No, not that kind of racist tier list. That one's okay on Twitch. I'm talking about the one that the Urantia book gave us. Now, according to this book, there were originally 6 colored races of human. And you're not going to believe this. It's pretty revolutionary, but some of these colored races are better than the other ones. Are we starting to see where this is going, maybe? To give you an example, it says that the blue race, which are white people, were the most advanced, while the red race, which are Native Americans, were noble but stubborn, and the black race, which I really don't think I need to clarify this one, needed help developing. I warned you, this is fucking retarded, okay? It's insane, and I told you that, so don't be mad at me for reading these things off. Please. Now, I'm sure the followers of the Urantia book would probably hate me, not just because of me talking about this and kind of showing how really, stupid they are, but also because I have Melungeon roots. Now, if you don't know what that is, you could Google it. If it's interesting enough, I might make a video on it later. I might not. But for simplicity's sake, it's like mixed race Native American. Okay? That's your boy. They don't like that at all. I'm like purple to them. That's blue and red, and that's a no-go. You know what I mean? But they may have multiple reasons not to like me, and they almost certainly view me as a lesser race, at least partially. And I think because of that, I want to get ahead of it a little bit. And I kind of just want to call them out by name, maybe. I don't really think that people like that deserve to get to just go under the radar. So let's look at the names here. Mo Siegel, fuck you. Marilyn, fuck you. George, fuck you. Judy, Guard, Olga, Sherry, Victor, Chris, Jerry, Marcel, Collins, Joyce, Richard, and Tom. Fuck y'all. I win. They're gonna breed me out. That pause. Do not quote that. Do not breed me. Oh my god, dude. The Sleepytime T-Bear is gonna breed me. That bear's a fucking pervert, by the way. I'll put a picture on screen. That bear is a fucking pervert. That is an allegation, but not defamation. I would tell that bear to suck my dick, but he might come. I urge you, those who I just named, go outside. This is me. This is not a video anymore. This is not me talking to people who are just like viewing. This is me talking to you if you ever see this. Go outside. Take your shoes off. Walk in the grass. Touch it. As the internet likes to say. Touch some grass. Put down that book. That book is not doing much for you, okay? That's just not how the world works. And your book was written by a dude who just wanted to manipulate a bunch of people, and he did, and you are some of them. But it's not too late for you. Just stop reading it. Stop promoting it. That is not that hard. But back to, the YouTube video not being a guy talking to a bunch of people who will never watch this, I'm sure. But the book literally says that some races are biologically superior, which is super awesome. So for all of you history buffs out there, by the way, that's straight up scientific racism. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the 19th century race studies. It's insane. I might cover those at some point. That's kind of like outside of my thing. I'm more into like cults and cryptids and things like that. Not sure if I'm going to cover 19th century race studies, but if I get, I guess, if I run out of content ideas, I might. But yeah, the Urantia book has the worst parts of colonialism, social Darwinism, and just straight up white supremacy, blended up all into one new age spiritualist texts, which is super cool and productive as hell. Now, if you thought that, the eugenics part would be the end of the lunacy with the Urantia book, allow me to introduce you to Space Jesus. Because I did mention earlier that this book kind of just piggybacks and twists a lot of like Christian beliefs. So here we go. In the lore of the Urantia book, Jesus wasn't the Jesus we've all, at the very least, heard of, right? The Son of Man, God made into flesh, brought into the world by Mother Mary, all that good stuff. And no. The Urantia book states that Jesus was actually a divine alien sent by higher beings to uplift humanity, which, crazy, but not like evil crazy, which, totally has the historical evidence to back it, right? That's super legit, which if the Urantia book talks about all these other planets full of life, why does Space Jesus only visit this one? That's my question to you. Why does Space Jesus only come to Earth? Maybe he just loves blue people the most, which is what they do believe. Which is fucking crazy. Oh, and also, the Urantia book describes a celestial government with different ranks of angels, divine administrators, and cosmic overlords that all just run the universe. And to be so real, if I sat here and I broke it all down, I would wind up having to turn this one video into like a multi-part series spanning over 6 months. Like, it would take a while. And I am not really trying to do that. But, sources are out there. I'll even link like a PDF to the Urantia book down below. So if you want to go and read that, you can. I don't recommend it. But if you do go read it, remember, it's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. I feel like that should be good enough warning there. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I've covered the founding of Celestial Seasonings, a bit about the Urantia book itself, and even a little about Mo. I should also add, Mo Siegel has been a devoted follower of the Urantia book since the 1970s. So much so that he even serves on the Urantia Foundation's Board of Trustees as president. And he continues to serve as president and help spread its teachings. And that's a fucking lot. That's a lot. I should also add, I don't think that every box of Sleepytime tea that you buy is like helping progress the Urantia book or infused with like evil, cultish, black magic or some shit like that. And honestly, I'm not even here to tell you not to buy the fucking tea. Like, you can do whatever you want. That's your right. Hell, I like Sleepytime tea. That's some good shit. But I also think it's pretty fucking crazy looking at the cult ties connected to this company. And I feel like I've seen nobody really talk about this. And I think it's interesting as hell. You should also know, however, that there have been reports that Mo Siegel's Urantia beliefs have influenced hiring at Celestial Seasonings, and that some of the company's philosophy aligned with the book's teachings. So that is a bit suspicious. I'm not I'm not gonna lie. You know, if he goes in there and like sees like someone sitting across the fucking table from him, and he's like, "Ooh, a red one." Nope. Like that's rough. You know, but that could have happened allegedly, reportedly, not proven. But I mean, regardless, I think it's insane. But you know, there's no evidence that like employees had to like sign their life away to cosmic overlords or anything like that. It's just strange that the guy who is super into racial hierarchies and stuff founded a major herbal tea brand. Like that is, it's so bizarre. And what really surprises me is that, like, you know, like I said, nobody seems to be talking about this. This cult has successfully infiltrated damn near every supermarket in the country. And millions upon millions buy their product every year and are completely fucking clueless. Also, look at this bear. This fucking bear is a pervert. This bear wants you to drink the tea in a ditty party way, not in a help you get some sleep way. This bear wants to touch you.
Did you just revive Pedo Bear?
This is Beto Bear. The scene kids were telling us the whole time. This rapist bear makes tea. It's like the Whitest Kids You Know skit with the grapist, but it's the Sleepytime tea bear, and he actually. It's the Whitest Kids You Know sketch where it's the grapist, but instead it's the Sleepytime tea bear, Adolf Hitler and Kanye West, and the three of them make you drink the tea, and so much of that is gonna get bleeped out. Oh my god. But okay. I think I'm gonna go make the tea. I'm gonna go try it. I'll try it here, but I'm gonna go make it real quick. I'm gonna try it. And we'll give it like a definitive like cult food tier list rating. Which I think might be a thing I start doing, is like finding a food within these cults to like try and rate. Because I'm a fucking big back, and that sounds like fun to me. So hold on. Okay. I have been advised not to do a Keith Lee impersonation. So I will just say, I got it. Let's try it and put it on the tier list. I mean, it's tea. It's fine, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's herbal tea. It's very run of the mill. I mean, I guess it's like on the better end of herbal tea. You know? So put it at a B, but like low end of a B tier. But I don't know if I'm satisfied. That's the thing. And they do have a satisfaction guaranteed policy, and I'm not like super super satisfied. So maybe I should write them an email. See if I can get like my $5 back. I'll do that after the video. Makes for good clickbait. The Sleepytime tea cult owes me $5. That's a good title. If that's the title of the video and you clicked on it for that reason, that was real time. I'm just smart like that. But okay. That's all from me. If you stuck around until the end of the video, comment something vaguely threatening, I guess. But until the next one, be good. God bless. I love you.